All right, welcome back. Let's get into aggregation. Aggregation is where we've got a bunch of pieces and we're going to basically tie all those together as best we can. So, really, the question that we're about to ask and answer in this video is whenever I've got a piece here and you've got a piece there, and someone else has a piece somewhere else, and we're trying to get all those numbers to come together to get one single big picture. And really, there's no great answer to the question of how much data do I need, because it's always going to be the case that more is better. What we'll see in chapter 7, there is a limit. You start to hit diminishing returns. But generally speaking, there is never a reason to turn away perfectly valid data if you have it. So let me show you what I mean here. Let's suppose that Bobbert Bobbington boldly bought Bollywood, and we want to know, does the American populace approve of Bobbert Bobbington's bold Bollywood buyout? So suppose that every major news network polled people. Do you approve? Yes or no? And suppose also we're going to make this a little easier that every poll was done correctly, right? They used random sampling. They did not ask leading or loaded questions. They didn't just leave some online poll somewhere. They were all good polls. All of these results are valid based on the polls that were conducted. But you'll notice that there's quite a spread of approval ratings. Some people got under 80%, one poll got over 90%. And this is something that we all deal with in our regular day to day life. Every poll gives you slightly different results. How do you rectify that? How do you bring all of this together? And the answer to that's going to be aggregation. Of course, before you accept all of these polls, you do have to go through them and make sure they were done correctly. That said, though, I'm not going to throw out Fox News just because it was Fox News. I'm not going to throw out CNN just because it was CNN. I'm not going to throw out ABC just because I don't like ABC, right? That's not a reason to throw out data. You would throw out data if it's bad, if it was done poorly, or doesn't tell you how it was done. But if all this data is good, let's use all of it. And the way we're going to bring data together, the way we aggregate data, the way we aggregate samples, is the same throughout this section. We will do means. Specifically, we will do what's called a weighted mean. Because you'll see here that NBC polled twice as many people, so NBC gets twice as much weight. Everyone else did 5,000 people, so everyone gets equal weight otherwise. NBC gets twice as much. So the way we're going to find out what the overall population thinks is we're going to take as much data as we have and average together with a weighted mean. So these are, by the way, called proportions. The proportion here is 0.88. The proportion here for NBC is 0.84, and then 0.79, etc. These are proportions. This is the proportion of the sample that has the approval yes or conversely no. So we have five sample proportions. One is weighted twice as much because it's twice as many people in it, but each proportion is listed in decimal form. And also, this is just something that's fun to say. This little caret symbol is also a hat, and so I would call this p hat. These p hat values. The first p hat from ABC is 0.88. The next p hat is 0.84, then 0.79, all the way down. And you want to make the best estimate you can, you will take all of these valid values and average them together with a weighted mean. So you'll add everything up, divide by the number. However, since one is weighted twice as much, I'm adding essentially 6 things together and dividing by 6. And that gives me a mean proportion, a sample mean proportion, a mean of sample proportions, there we go, of 0.8467. So honestly, no one is right. They're all getting closer to right. And altogether, it's about 85% approval rating. And that's how we'll do that. And so this is one way to deal with aggregation. We'll look at another way in the next video. See you then.